Hey everybody, how are you? Thank you for joining. This is Kevin again, and today's video is a response to one of my subscribers and viewers who asked me about how to do Google Calendar, because I put out a video recently on time management using Asana and Google Calendar together, but I guess what I didn't really do is explain very well how Google Calendar gets set up. I showed the integration and my thought process behind it, but somebody had asked about, well, how do I get started with Google Calendar? Now, there's probably a lot of information out there, but I'm glad to put this out. So anyways, if you start here with Google and you go up to the top right here, you get this little matrix bar here, and simply select Calendar. And if you're signed into Google, it'll take you to a calendar. Now, this has all of my calendars here on the side that I've already set up. So I'm just going to uncheck those boxes so that you don't see any, and we don't want to confuse you with that. So I'll hide the other calendars, but you can set up as many as you like. We're going to show you that in a second. So the first thing you want to do is, now that we have a blank slate, is go ahead and add a calendar. So the way I would attack this with my workflow is, I would create a calendar maybe for each project type. I maybe juggle 4 to 5 different work projects per week. So I'm going to go ahead and add a new calendar, and I'm going to simply call it Project 1, really imaginative, right? And then we're going to go back, and you'll see that it adds it right down here and views it. So let's go ahead and create maybe 4 projects. I'll call them 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we'll go like this, project 4. Okay. So now I've got projects 1, 2, 3, and 4. And what I want to do is, let's go to the settings, and I want to choose a time. Let's say, well, let's do it this way. Sorry. Let's go ahead and start with 8 o'clock on Monday. Let's say I want to work on project 1, and I want to give at least 2 hours each day to every project. So what I would do is come down here, choose project 1, and I'll go to more options, and I'll set it from 8 to 10. And I'll have it repeat every weekday, Monday to Friday. So now each day that I start my work day, I'm going to give 2 hours to project 1. Now these can be moved around. I mean, everybody's day changes, things happen, they come up, right? You have to be flexible, but at least you've got some time slotted for each project. So now let's go from 10 to 12, and let me slot in project 2 from 10 to 12, and we'll label it with project 2, and we'll have this repeat every day from 10 to 12. Now, let's say at noontime, I may want to do something like, let's add another calendar here for emails. Because one of the things that you want to do that I've learned over the years is, you don't want to be a slave to your emails as they come in. I mean, everybody has to answer some things that come up that are very important, but if you can, try to answer your emails at a certain time each day. My apology. Let me go in there and edit this daily. So we want to repeat each day. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and put this in at noontime, and then I'll show you another example. Let's go ahead in at 4 o'clock towards the end of the workday, and let's have a time to check our emails again at the end of the workday. So we want to check in midday and then again at the end of the workday, just to make sure that there's nothing burning up. Now, from say 1 o'clock until 3, we may want to do project 3. So let's go ahead and put in project 3, and so on and so forth every weekday. And that's going to give me that block there. And maybe project 4 is almost completed, and we're only going to give 1 hour to that. And again, this can flex for you for sure. You don't want to be unflexible, or inflexible rather. But, whoops, I had that one overlap, my apology. So this is project 4, and we're going to go from 3 o'clock until 4. and we'll call it project 4, and we'll do this daily as well. So sorry about that. So this is essentially how I use Google Calendar to sort of map out my day. Now, you can go look at this other video. I'll link it in the description, how to use Asana with this, because Asana, what that essentially does is, for those of you who haven't seen that, is allows you to take all these projects and really add subtasks to it, to put dates to it, to put dependencies and people who have to complete tasks with you. So if you're a project manager and you've got people that are dependent on to do certain tasks to complete this project, well, I don't want to keep them all in Google Calendar. Asana does a much, much better job for me than that. But between the two of them, what this tells me is I'll come in, sit down in the morning, get my cup of coffee, and I'll open up my calendar and I see, okay, it's time to go to project 1. So then I'll bump myself over to Asana, open up the corresponding project, look at all the to-do items in there, and then I'll start working from there. But that's basically it, guys. I mean, Google Calendar is great because I can take this anywhere. I know some people like myself, you may have a corporate Outlook situation where you're not allowed to have linkages to your Outlook. You know, you have firewalls and all that. So this is a good way for me to sort of keep track of my high-level stuff and be able to sort of keep track that I'm spending the right amount of my day on what I need to be doing and what's priority. So anyways, guys, I hope that was helpful. If you want some more information on Google Calendar, there's a ton of great videos out there, no question, online. But I thank you very much for watching, and much more coming up soon. Have a great day, everybody. Bye for now.